Hi, my name's Ben. I'm 28. I live in a tiny rented apartment on the 6th floor of a building that thinks it's fancier than it actually is. You know the type: gray walls, polished elevator buttons, and a shared washing machine in the hallway next to the fire escape. Like, here's modern living, but please be communal about your underwear. I usually do my laundry at night, not because I'm shy, but because most of my clothes are either hand-me-downs or clearance rack tragedies. Somehow, over time, my underwear drawer turned into a collection of jokes from discount novelty calendars. Anyway, it's Saturday, 10:47 a.m. I wake up, make myself some tea, and realize I'm down my last clean pair of underwear. A bright yellow one, with a banana on it, and the words, "I peel good." They were my last resort. I gathered everything I could find: sweaty t-shirts, jeans that could stand on their own, socks plotting an escape, dumped them all in a laundry basket, and headed out in a t-shirt, slippers, and those banana boxers. I figured, it's still morning, nobody's awake. I was wrong. The washing machine was miraculously free. A rare cosmic alignment. I opened the lid, tossed everything in, grabbed a gel capsule, and just as I was about to close the machine, I heard, "Early morning laundry, huh?" I turned. Claire, my neighbor, tall, effortlessly stylish, athletic, wearing a sleek running set and holding a cup of Greek yogurt like she was in a Reels ad for Waking Up with Wellness. I froze. The gel capsule started dripping on my fingers. On the floor between us, a pair of pink panties had fallen out of my basket. They read, but first, coffee. She looked at them, then at me, then down to my banana boxers. I panicked. I blurted out, "They're a gift from my mom." There was a silence. Her eyes slowly did a full lap. Underwear, my face, banana zone. Without a word, she put her yogurt down on the windowsill and walked away. Didn't say another thing. I tossed everything in, slammed the lid, started the cycle, and retreated to my apartment like a man defeated. But that was just the beginning. 40 minutes later, I returned to pick up my clothes. The washing machine was still spinning. No big deal. I sat on the bench opposite it, pulled out my phone, and started scrolling through TikTok. Mostly cooking fails and dogs and sunglasses. My safe space. Then click. The door across from me creaked open. Enter Trevor, my other neighbor. Mid-30s. Gym guy. Lives in perpetual protein powder fumes. He stepped out into the hallway wearing only a towel. Headphones in. Didn't see me. That was fine. Until he did something unthinkable. He casually tossed his towel onto the chair and stood there, completely naked. Not a flicker of shame. Just air drying like we were in a Swedish sauna instead of a residential hallway. I froze. Phone still in hand. Basket of semi-clean clothes at my feet. My mind just whispered, "Don't make eye contact. Don't move. Become furniture." And right then, ding, elevator doors opened. Because of course they did. And out stepped Tina from a 4th floor. The same Tina I had a date with 2 weeks ago. The one who texted me, "You're sweet, but I didn't feel a spark," after I tried to cook her mushroom risotto and set off the fire alarm. Her eyes landed on Trevor, naked, then on me, sitting on a bench, still in banana boxers, next to an overflowing laundry basket. She blinked, taking in the scene like it was performance art. "Wow," she said, "didn't realize this was a boys-only laundry party." I opened my mouth to explain. I really did. But the machine behind me beeped, door unlocked, and with a dramatic swirl of fabric, one of my shirts flung itself out like a dove at a wedding. A black t-shirt with big, bold white letters. MILF Hunter. It landed at her feet. Trevor leaned down, picked it up, and with absolutely no hesitation, slipped it on over his glorious naked self. "Nice shirt," he said, flexing just a little. Tina nodded slowly, the way one does when they finally understand why they broke up with someone. Then she turned around and got back into the elevator. Did it stop there? Oh no, as I bent down to collect the rest of my clothes, while desperately trying not to look anywhere in Trevor's direction. I heard him ask, "Yo, Ben, you got more of these shirts?" I didn't answer. I couldn't. I just picked up my basket like a shield and ran for my life. Or, well, walked quickly but awkwardly because the banana boxers had no pocket and my phone was slipping, and also there was a sock stuck to my elbow. I thought it was over, but fate much like the washing machine, had more spins in store. I burst into my apartment, clutching the laundry basket like it was a newborn I was too ashamed to claim. Safe. Finally, I dropped everything by the couch and took a deep breath. That's when I heard it. "Oh, hey, Ben." I turned. In the hallway stood a man I didn't recognize. Tool belt, work boots, oil stain on his shirt. The plumber, right? My downstairs neighbor had warned me someone was coming to check the pipes today. Only, this guy wasn't holding a wrench or a clipboard. He was holding a thong. Not just any thong. A lacy, pastel pink one with a tiny red heart stitched in the middle. One of those that looks like it came from Fairy's boudoir. And he asked, with absolutely zero judgment, "This yours?" I froze. Time slowed. I could practically hear dramatic music swelling in the background. "Unfortunately, no," I said. And right on cue, Laura, my roommate, stepped out of the bathroom. She took one look at the thong, the plumber, me, still in banana boxers, and groaned like this wasn't even her top 5 weirdest Ben moments. "Ben, did you do laundry again?" "Technically, yes." "Did you remember to check the drum before putting your stuff in?" "Technically, no." She marched over, grabbed the thong with 2 fingers, looked at it, then held it up like evidence in a courtroom. "Ben, this was my laundry cycle. I thought it was empty. So you added your filthy gym socks to my delicates?" "They weren't that filthy. One of them crunched when I picked it up. I wanted to melt into the floor, evaporate into shame vapor. Anything." The plumber, bless him, tried to ease the tension. "Look, I see worse than this every day. Once found a raccoon in a dryer vent. Not helpful, but appreciated." Laura sighed and disappeared back in her room, muttering something about color bleed, and my lace is now periwinkle. The plumber gave me a friendly nod and went back to fixing pipes. I stood there alone, still in banana underwear, surrounded by a pile of freshly laundered mistakes. And that's when I made the first of many post-trauma rules. No more Saturday laundry. Only night shifts. Only dark colors. Capsules opened before I leave the apartment. And the MILF Hunter shirt? Destroyed in a small ceremony involving scissors, tequila, and a lighter on the balcony. But just when I thought the storm had passed, my phone buzzed. A message from Tina. "So you and Trevor, are you like a thing?" I stared at the screen for a full minute. There are moments that define a man's life. This was not one of them, but it felt like it. I stared at Tina's message. "So, you and Trevor, are you like a thing?" I blinked, reread it, and then made the mistake of answering immediately. "No!" 3 exclamation marks. Like a man trying way too hard to sound casual. I followed it up with, "I was doing laundry." He was not. It's a long story. No reply. I tossed my phone on the couch and flopped down face first into the still warm pile of clothes. Everything smelled like lavender detergent and regret. I needed to clear my head. So I did what any self-respecting adult would do after being semi-publicly shamed, misidentified as someone's boyfriend, and accused of sabotaging lingerie. I opened the freezer, found 3 fish sticks, ate them frozen. Then came the second text. "Haha, I mean, no judgment. You two look comfortable." Comfortable? Trevor was naked. I replied, "He's my neighbor." That's it. I've never even seen his Netflix queue. There was a pause. "So you're saying you're single?" I sat bolt upright. One sock still stuck to my elbow. My brain went full Windows XP startup chime. Okay. This was salvageable. Maybe she wasn't scarred for life. Maybe the sight of Trevor's abs and my banana boxers wasn't a complete dating apocalypse. I typed, "Very single. Also capable of wearing pants under normal circumstances." Then I added a winking emoji. Then deleted the emoji. Then added a period. Then deleted the period. Then turned off my phone. Crisis delayed, but not resolved. And because the gods of chaos weren't finished with me yet, I remembered something. Something horrible. I had left the pink, but first, coffee panties on the floor in the hallway. Right where Claire saw them. Right where the plumber walked past. I peeked outside. They were gone. Not in the hallway. Not on the windowsill. Just vanished. Which meant one of 3 things. Claire took them to frame me for crimes I haven't committed. Trevor picked them up and is now wearing them in celebration. The building's maintenance staff just added my name to some kind of list. Regardless, I now had to live with the knowledge that someone had them. and I'd probably never know who, until a photo showed up on my phone from an unknown number. Just a picture. It was the pink panties hanging from my doorknob. No caption, just vibes. I stared at the photo. Panties. My doorknob. Taken from outside, which meant someone had put them there, stepped back, took a pic, and sent it to me. I opened the door slowly, like I was disarming a bomb. They were there, still dangling, like a shame ornament. I grabbed them quickly, looked both ways, and yanked them inside like I was rescuing a hostage. Then I realized something even worse. The unknown number. It wasn't unknown anymore. My phone updated at mid-sync. Tina. She'd saved my number during our date, which meant she just sent me lingerie on my own door that wasn't hers, which she knew. Was this flirtation? Was it mockery? Was it the prelude to a restraining order? I didn't have time to think, because suddenly, ding-dong, the doorbell. I panicked, looked at the panties still in my hand, and did the dumbest thing possible. I stuffed in my teapot. Yes, the teapot, because my brain, in a crisis, goes straight to Victorian storage solutions. I opened the door. Claire, holding a yoga mat. Sweaty, glowing, radiant. Hey, she said, like the hallway underwear saga had never happened. Did you get a photo from Tina just now? My mouth opened, closed, rebooted. Yes. She grinned. She sent it to me too. Said she was starting a Ben's greatest laundry hits group chat. Oh God. Honestly, I'm just here to say thank you. You've made hallway laundry fun again. And then, I swear, she fist bumped me. Before I could respond, Trevor appeared down the hall, still shirtless, now wearing pajama bottoms with dinosaurs on them. He waved at us with a protein shake. Yo, Claire. Hey, Ben. We starting that group chat, or what? Claire laughed and walked off down the hall. Trevor leaned in and stage whispered, Hey, man, you crushed it. Both girls talking about you? That's like laundry alpha. Then he winked. Like we were bros. Like this was a strategy. I closed the door, sat on the couch, stared at the teapot like it was judging me. Which it was, because it now smelled like lavender and mild humiliation. I texted Tina. Group chat. She replied, just you, me, Claire, and one emoji per laundry incident. Current count, 5 grimacing face. I wanted to argue, but instead I just texted back. At this point I should make merch. And she said, oh, we will. The photo of the panties on my doorknob haunted me, but not as much as what followed. A new notification lit up my phone. Group chat created. Basket Bins Dirty Laundry Chronicles. Members, Tina, Claire, Trevor, me. Icon. My banana boxer zoomed in. The chat blew up immediately. Claire, laundry's never been this entertaining. Trevor, sends selfie in my MILF Hunter shirt. Think I might keep this. Feels empowering. Tina, we should start taking bets on what Ben wears next. I'm guessing dinosaurs. Me, I hope you all contract a sock fungus. Tina, too late. Already emotionally infected. I shut off my phone, but I could still feel the judgment radiating through the screen. I needed a moment to feel like a human again. So I did what any rational adult would do. I made tea. Only, I forgot the panties were still inside the teapot from earlier. They'd been crammed in there during the panic moment when Tina rang my bell, and I didn't want to look like the kind of guy who just holds women's underwear at his door. I poured the water. The tea turned pink. I stared at it. It stared back. I took a sip. It tasted like fabric softener and shame. And yet, not the worst tea I've had. That evening, there was a knock on my door. I opened it cautiously, holding my phone like a shield. It was Claire. She walked in without waiting for an invite. Under her arm, a pristine laundry basket. I'm here for justice, she said. If this is about the foam incident, I can explain. It's not. She dropped the basket at my feet. You owe me laundry. The right way. I stared at it. Her clothes were so civilized. Everything folded, sorted, color-coded. You want me to wash this? Yes. Correctly? Obviously. With rules. 1. No color bleeding. 2. Use the mesh bag. 3. You break it. You buy me 3 new bras and a scented candle. She turned and left. I looked down at the basket like it was a bomb. Carefully, I carried it to the hallway machine like I was defusing said bomb. Sorted. Checked settings. Cold wash. Delicates. I even YouTubed how to use a mesh bag properly. And for once I thought, Ben, you've got this. But that's when I noticed the label on one of the pods. Claire's homemade eco-friendly foam caps. Oh no! I stared at the little pod, translucent and glowing with botanical confidence. Her voice echoed in my head. Use just one. Just one. But I dropped two in out of instinct. I tried to scoop one back out, but the water had already started filling the drum. Too late. 15 minutes later, I returned to check the cycle. The hallway was a cloud. Sudsy foam poured out from the seams of the machine like it was possessed by a vegan marshmallow. The floor was slick. The fire alarm blared. Somewhere, a pigeon flew by and probably also got a detergent facial. Trevor emerged with goggles on and a snorkel. Tina was filming on her phone, narrating like it was a nature documentary. Claire appeared at the end of the hallway, looking like the final boss in a fitness-themed RPG. She took one glance at the Sud tsunami and said, "Tell me you didn't use two pods." I pointed at Trevor. He'd dare me. Liar. Trevor grinned, spitting bubbles. Claire walked into the foam storm and opened the washer mid-cycle, letting a puff of flower-scented chaos escape. Ben, my yoga pants smell like lemongrass explosion. You have one chance to fix this. Do I at least get credit for using the mesh bag? No, that was pink now. I mopped foam for 2 hours. Trevor used it as an excuse to go shirtless. Again, Tina posted a poll to the group chat. Rate Ben's cleaning form. Sponge woman dancing. Claire voted 1/10. Brutal. Next day, Claire showed up with a peace offering, a bottle of wine and 2 glasses, and a candle. It smelled like regret and bergamot. Truce, she asked. Only if we never mention the foam incident again. Agreed. We sipped wine while she reorganized her laundry basket like it was sacred geometry. Meanwhile, I tried to pretend I wasn't Googling how to survive social death. You know, Claire said after a second glass, you've actually brought the floor together through mutual embarrassment, through shared laundry trauma. It's kind of endearing. She told me Tina had laughed about the whole thing, that she thought I was genuinely hilarious, that even Trevor had stopped flexing and started offering dryer sheets to everyone in the building. I wasn't the laughingstock anymore. I was the chaotic glue, and I leaned into it. I made themed playlists for wash time, left sticky notes with motivational quotes like, "You've got this, even if your socks smell like defeat." I even offered to help Tina separate her delicates. Politely, respectfully, with gloves. She texted later, "This is the weirdest I've ever bonded with a neighbor. I love it." A week later, Tina and I had our actual second date. No home cooking, just street tacos and a park bench. We laughed for 2 straight hours. She told me about her worst date ever. He brought his mom, and I told her about the time I accidentally used mouthwash as contact lens solution. At the end of the night, as we walked past the laundry room, she stopped and smirked. "I honestly thought you and Trevor were a couple that first day. You and everyone else. Well, now they think we are." She took my hand and kissed me, right there, in front of the fire exit and the cursed washing machine. Trevor passed by at that exact moment, shirtless, of course. He raised his protein shake like a toast. "Love is love, browski." And I didn't even correct him. I just smiled, pulled Tina close, and thought, I only want to clean socks, but I accidentally cleaned up my whole life. Maybe laundry days aren't so bad after all.